Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey, mothers and daughters. Today I'm bringing you another great, amazing woman to meet from around the world. You know, this month and next month, we are going to continue talking about women that have moved from their country to another country, and they are living, most of them, some of them, a nomad life, but also creating community and creating family in other places. And I am excited to bring you Miss Helena today. And Miss Helena, introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, hi, lovelies. My name's Helena or Helena, I go by. Doesn't bother me. I am originally from England and I have actually lived in Calgary, Canada since 99. So what is that, like 26 years?
Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah.
gonna take it you're enjoying yourself.
I like it here, yes. A little
Yeah.
bit of a story there. I'd actually visited Calgary when I was 11 years old.
Right.
For the first time. And I actually said to my dad on the way home, on the flight home, I said, Dad, I was like, I really like it there. I'm going to live there one day. And I literally manifested it from the age of 11.
Because once it comes out of your mouth, it's over. Now we can keep things in, but once we put it out there, something starts to make a way to make it happen.
It did. Yeah, and it did happen. So that manifesting, that putting those words out to the universe was magical. And yeah, and I made it happen and been here for 26 years. So yeah.
What was it about it that gave you the vibe of I could live here? Because that's the one thing I talk to ladies about all the time when they say, "Oh, I think when I retire, I'm going to go live in Italy." And I say, "Well, have you ever been?" "Oh, no, I've never even been international." I'm like, I think you need to go and visit to see if the vibe is for you to
I
see.
love Italy too.
Yeah. So what was it about it at 11 when you were driving off going, I want to go back. We're just
I
leaving.
think, oh my gosh, it was really back then, like I fell in love with the Canadian, um, like it's just beautiful, like the mountains and the weather. And of course, coming from England, where it's quite gloomy, anybody that's from England that's listening will be like, hell yeah, girl. Like it is rainy and dreary. And coming to Calgary, Canada, there's beautiful blue skies and the mountains. And I live very close to Banff, which is
Oh
obviously
my gosh.
world
On
renowned.
my
And
bucket list to make sure
yeah,
I see before
the
I.
Rocky Mountains. And thank you to Instagram for, all of those people
Yes.
posting beautiful pictures. And I
Yeah.
fell in love with the Canadian people, in all honesty. Like they are just such lovely souls. And I just left here thinking like I don't belong in England, like I belong here. And
I
so,
love that.
I met my Canadian husband. He's
I
born
love
and raised in
that.
Calgary, and
Yeah.
yeah, so
Oh no, I love that. I've only been to Toronto, Canada once, and but I do want to come back to Canada. As a matter of fact, I almost did my snowmobile trip there, but we decided to go somewhere else. But that was on my list for next week was to go
you
back
got to
and
come
visit.
visit me.
I gotta go visit you. Haven't been to that part of Canada, so that's absolutely a possibility. I travel all the time, so I'm always looking for great places to see. And Canada is a place that I know I will return. But that's really wonderful. Now, let me ask you this: when you really made the decision, walk me through the process of saying, okay, this is what I'm doing. But then, behind the scenes, there's where will I live?
Yeah.
Where will I work? Are you married?
Yes.
So when you got there, you met your husband. So I want to know, what was that dating scene like? So let's go through I'm gonna do it. What are the things that women need to remember or to know to put in place before they just up and go?
Well, for me, it was a little different because I did have relatives here. So
Okay.
that's why I was visiting in the first place. My uncle passed away, unfortunately, a number of years ago, but
Hmm.
they were the reason for me even getting here. Like my aunt and uncle had said to me after I'd said, I'm going to live there one day. As I got older, I kept coming and visiting, and I was like, yep, I definitely want to live here. And
Okay.
then few years later, it was, a milestone birthday, and they actually gave me a ticket, and they said it was an open-ended ticket, and they said, come and stay with us and see if you really, really want to stay. And so I actually, in the UK, I was working several jobs and I saved up some money and I was like, yeah, I'm going to come. And then I remember, again, this whole manifesting thing. I remember standing at the airport in Manchester because that's my airport. And I remember standing there and actually thinking to myself, I'm not coming back. Like I just knew in my body and soul, I was like, this is it. Like I'm not coming back.
Yeah. I love your definitive this is it because I think we miss out on not listening to that inner spirit that tells us when we need to move forward or do something different. And I know that it's probably because we're used to doing those same things, but it's like you knew as a kid, not only is this what I'm going to do, but as you got an adult, you stayed on it. And that's great that you had family there. I think that definitely makes a big difference if you have family, because at least if you go there and you haven't gotten all the other ducks in a row, you can stay with family or have family to help you. So that's really wonderful. When you
Yeah.
were there, other than your family, how did you build your own community? You know, your friends and, people that were in your genre of whatever it is that you like to do. How did you find those individuals so that you could build your own friendships?
Yeah, so back when I first moved here, I was in a very different industry. I was in the corporate world, so
Mhm.
I actually met most of my friends through the corporate world, so through working. And then as I, got older and I had great friends, and then as I got older and I met my husband not too long after I moved here,
Mhm.
but then I
Hey,
ended
that's wonderful. That gives all the ladies hope because that's the third
yeah.
question I'm asked all the time when we start talking about traveling. They go, well, what's the dating scene? I wonder over there. I probably never find a husband. And it's like, well,
Oh,
that's the
okay.
way
So
it is.
I met my husband online.
Okay. But
But
he lives in that
I
area.
was here, but I was living here. I
Okay.
met my husband online and we met and we were just inseparable ever since. And actually this year we'll have been married 20 years.
So you're telling me, I guess so. Online dating was a thing 20 years ago?
Yeah, yeah, it was like and he didn't it's funny because he didn't like telling people that we'd met online because it was a
Yeah.
bit like it was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bit embarrassing
It
back
would
then.
be
Like now
back then.
it's like
Yeah.
everyone does it, but like he was a bit
Yeah.
embarrassed. And he's like, well, I met you online and it's kind of embarrassing. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I was, I had dated online previous to that. Obviously
Okay.
I'd been in relationships and things.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had actually met online.
Okay. Wow,
Because
that's pretty
I think
awesome.
and I hear that a lot. I hear like it's the dating scene now, it's a lot harder to meet people because people aren't really as like warmed up to like speaking in person because everybody's on their phones or on their laptops and it's a lot harder to meet
And even
people.
at dinner, both parties are on the phone. They don't even
Yeah,
talk to each other. But then also, they did a poll and they said about 40% of the people that are online on the dating sites are already married anyway.
really? I didn't
So
know
that makes
that.
it now I'm a very old-fashioned girl. I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas, and that doesn't make me the old-fashioned part. It's just the way I was raised. But I've never signed up for an online anything, dating or anything. If I don't meet you at the gas station or at the grocery store or somebody connect us, we're never gonna meet.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm still single. That's why I'm still single because it terrifies me to think, okay, listen. Okay, when I was younger, we used to watch too many scary movies. So my little don't laugh at me. My little thing now is, are you kidding? The killer's online.
Oh my God. Yeah,
So the
I'm sure
first
there
thing
are.
my brain goes to is that the killer is online and I'm not giving the killer access to me. So anyway, I can lower my life.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
here's the thing,
Yeah,
there can be happy endings
I
because yeah,
know.
20 years we'll have been married.
All my kids are grown and they've met their people that they're with online. My daughter's been dating her boyfriend now for 2 years, and my son's been dating his girlfriend for 2.5 years, and they all met online. So I know that it's a thing, but I'm 52 and I'm like, the killer's on,
Yeah.
you know. So, but anyway, so Canada. Anything you can share with us that you didn't know about Canada that you kind of learned about Canada? I know I was speaking with a lady yesterday and she moved from Washington, D.C. to Mexico, and she was saying she didn't realize how close the family knit um, connection was. She didn't realize that it was really, really, really that family oriented, but that it opened her mind to making sure that she's that close family wise with the family she moved over there with her husband and other people. So, what about Canada? Have you learned in these 20 years that you're just like, yep, I made the right decision?
Very similar, like it's very family oriented as well. Like coming from the UK, there is a big drinking culture actually.
Wow.
And but here in Calgary, especially, well, here in Calgary, I can't speak to the rest of Canada because I've been to other places, but Calgary specifically,
Right.
it is very family oriented as well, and that's what I do like about it. And what was really interesting to me about Canada is like in the UK, we leave school at 16. So
You mean
we're
to go to college?
yeah, like we leave high school at 16. I think it
So
may have
they
been
start early then.
yeah, so I left school at 16 and then
Nice.
so here, my daughter now she's 16 and she's in high school, like she's only just gone into high school.
Mhm.
So I do really like the school system here because she's
Yeah,
taking cosmetology and she's in a
with
PVA.
that too.
My daughter is an actor, so watch out for her on the big screens because you're going to see her very soon. She's going
Okay,
to be
awesome.
yeah, she's going to be
And
in a
make sure
movie.
you DM me and say, hey, check it out. And I
Yeah.
absolutely will support it.
She's going to be in a movie very soon, so I'll keep you posted. Just a small
Yes.
little role, but anyways. But
Okay.
yeah, so I did find actually the school system was quite interesting,
Okay.
very different. Yeah.
You know, but that's important too, especially if you have kids, you need to know those type of things. And again, when you uproot from one country to the next, you have got to find out all those life things that are going to affect you and going to be a part of something that you need to learn. So let's talk about work. That's the second thing. So the third thing people are concerned about is dating. The second thing they're concerned about is how do I earn a living? And I know that we're in a world now that everybody can kind of do something from home, whether they work for another company or they create their own. But
Mhm.
you got to think about it. Not everybody's meant to work from home or can manage themselves well to even do it in a great way. I personally have been working from home since 1995 when it wasn't even popular. I just wanted to see the kids go to school and come home. So that was my reason, my why.
Very similar story, actually.
Okay, tell me about how you created what you've created as far as work or, if you've created something of your own that brings you joy.
Yeah, so I did. So eventually, initially, I had started out in the corporate world. So my background is corporate HR. So I
Okay.
have a business admin background. And then after I had my daughter,
Mhm.
I actually was on maternity leave, and I said to my husband, I'm like, I don't want to go back. Like you probably similar. I'm sure you hear this from women all the time. Once you have a child, something in you, there's like that inner needing of nurturing and wanting to be there for them that you
Yes.
something in you changes. And so I said to my husband, I don't want to go back. So while I was on maternity leave, I actually started going back to school. I started taking some programs in aesthetics and massage therapy and facials and all of that stuff. So I ended up actually becoming qualified as a registered massage therapist. So
Nice.
I've been doing
Okay.
that now for 16 years actually. And then
Okay.
I specialize also in anti-aging skincare for women.
Okay.
So I have been focused on that. And then most recently, I've actually gotten into somatic healing and subconscious imprinting. So I actually help a lot of women now with either chronic pain that is at an emotional level. I
Uh-huh.
also help and specialize with women who have binge eating and binge drinking cycles. So I've been able to help women get over those cycles of like self-sabotage,
I love it. Okay.
which is held in our body. So with that goes a lot of testing and things like that that I'm actually able to uncover to
Mhm.
go back to the root of the issue, which is often very pinpointed because I do my testing.
Right, right,
So,
right.
so long story short is I never actually went and worked for anybody. I built my business from scratch, and
Good.
I've been
Good.
doing that for 16 years. And now it's just be getting, obviously bigger. And as I broaden out my skills and what I'm doing beyond the treatment room to now
Mm-hmm.
help women, eventually I really do want to be able to get out and help women, globally to
Yeah.
help them with these issues, whether it's chronic pain or imposter syndrome that
Yes.
entrepreneurs deal with, or binge eating, binge drinking, those kind of things as well.
So, so is it
Yeah,
mostly an online business or you do it from home?
both.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Funny thing is, I did actually go into a retail space for a very short time, and
mhm.
my clients didn't like it, and I didn't like it.
They want
So
more of a personal feeling.
they really like the personal thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that because I
Yeah.
love being at home and I love being able to create this beautiful space, this
Yeah.
Zen space where
Yeah.
it's not busy. There's no hustle and bustle. And, my clients love that.
There's no
So
swinging door back and forth where they just feel like a number. I get it. You know what?
totally.
I love it. I say to a lot of women, I'll say, well, if you know what, you've been looking for a job for 1 or 2 years or whatever, you're not finding anything that feeds your soul, then create it.
Oh, absolutely. I 100%
But let's
believe
just
that.
create it. Let's get this checklist going and let's talk about what it is that you love. What makes you smile? Do you have a hobby that can turn into a business? Like create the
So
thing that you
important.
want
Yeah.
that is so important. And I think it's a mindset thing as well. Of course, it's a mindset thing of thinking that you have to go out and work a 9 to 5 to make it to earn a living. I like to say not make, but earn a living when you can actually create the thing that you want to see? So it
Yeah.
really work just like that. Anything else you'd like to share with us about your journey from England to Canada or anything that you've learned about that particular move? Or my final question after you answer that will be, is this permanent? Are you going to stay there forever?
Oh, sorry, my someone texting me. Um, yes, I also actually have been coaching massage therapists as well because obviously it's kind of a side thing to what
Right.
I do. That's also something that I do, business coaching, because I know a lot about the business side of it. So that's kind of a side thing.
Okay,
Um,
good.
and then in terms of like, I guess what I would like to say to other women, especially, is to really like listen to that inner compass because once
Mm,
you listen and you really start to listen to what your body's really trying to tell you because your body will communicate with you, you just have to listen. And
please.
it's just to really like step into that and be bold enough to step into that because sometimes our bodies will be communicating and we'll be like, no, no, I can't do that. Like I'm guilty or I feel guilty or I couldn't do that. I couldn't possibly do that. And
Right.
it's like it's having that bravery to step into that and knowing that you can do whatever you put your mind to. You just have to be
Absolutely.
brave enough to put that first step forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, is Canada the final stop, or are you saying this is where I'm going to be forever?
I say right now, Canada is where it's at right now. And now, whether we would stay here forever,
Okay.
I don't think so. I think if anything, I might like to go and maybe travel to some other different warmer places. Let's just say warmer climates.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. When you're thinking about what you want to do and where you want to live and how you want to be surrounded and what energy you want that weather, it plays a difference. I'm in Houston, Texas, and we get a lot of tornadoes, we get a lot of storms, we get a lot of hurricanes, we get a lot of flooding during those particular seasons. And when it's bad, it's bad. But
Well, I've been to
it
Houston when
extended.
they've had floods. Yeah,
Well, you came to see.
I have. I've been to Houston and I was there when there was flooding and I saw the houses that were on stilts and now I get it.
Well, you must have been over in Galveston.
Yes.
Yeah, so Galveston is a beach town, and those houses are on stilts, not in the city part of it or in the suburbs. Like I live in a suburb called Katy. But let me tell you something, that weather thing really, really plays a part. I mean, I know a lot of folks, mothers and fathers who have moved to Florida just to get away from, the cold weather in the Midwest or whatever, but they didn't realize, wait a minute, Florida gets the worst hurricanes and the worst flooding and winds because it comes right from the Caribbean. And so,
Yeah.
trying to find a place that there's no weather. Now, I did interview a lady from Panama City, Panama, and they have no natural disasters of any kind, and it's always 85 degrees. And I went, I'm visiting there in April.
I've actually heard of a lot of people moving there, and maybe that's why, because they don't have those
No,
extreme
no
weather.
natural disasters at all, and weather
Yeah.
12 months out of the year is around 85. And I said, that's my jam. I love between 85 and 114 degrees. That makes me happy.
Yeah, that
Anything
sounds
else does not make me happy. I like hot weather. It's just I feel better. My bones feel good. I'm happier. I just, so I know if I ever decided to move to another location, which I've already decided that I won't do that, but what I will do is do the 90 days here or the 90 days there, or
that's my
have
thing
a house in
too.
another
Yeah.
location, but not just move. And I think it's just because, I mean, Texas runs in my blood. So I really love that, God put me in a place that feeds my soul. And I've traveled the world. I've been to many countries, many cities and states, but I'm always fascinated with individuals that have moved to other countries and, have created a life for themselves. And I just think that it's really, really important because I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened, but I'm not going to say. But in the last 3 or 4 years, there's been an influx of women of all different everything that are moving from other places. I mean, I just spoke with a lady that moved from Russia to Texas, and I was like, whoa. Yeah. I mean, and then folks that have moved from, Texas even to, the Bahamas or moved to, other countries and they are thriving and having a great time. So I love
Yeah.
the stories because I know what these stories do. They empower other women to get that. You know what? I think that's something I could do because we don't have to be beholden to anything if we've got our plan together.
Absolutely.
Well, guess what? Tell your daughter that you were interviewed today and that the lady that interviewed you said congratulations and that I can't wait to see her in her first part in a movie because her mom's going to tell me when so we can support it because I believe in supporting other people. But I think that'll be great to be able to have her to do that. And if that's something that she's passionate about, I know you'll be there for her, right?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Well, good. Thank you so much for being on the show today. And make sure if you've got a website or anything that you want to share with our audience, please feel free to do that because you may start doing webinars or you may start doing some other things. And guess what? When people visit other countries, they also may want to use the service. So do you have a website set up?
Yeah, usually I send people to my name first. So that's helenazebian.com.
Okay, let's
So
spell that. So yeah, let's spell it.
yeah, HelenaZebian.com. And
Perfect.
then that basically has everything on there from, yeah, my massage business coaching to my self-sabotage coaching and then also leads into the spa too. So if anybody is in Calgary and they want to come see me, that's can lead you over there too. So it's all in there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Helen. I really appreciate it. And thank you for taking the time to share with our audience. And it's been really great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
You too.